I'm going to let in our participants.
Okay.
And then Brenda, you'll let in from this point forward.
Yes.
Oh,
Good morning, Katie. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
We're good. We're good. Good morning, Juanita.
Good to see you again.
Yes, you as well. Good morning, Tara.
She's got hers on mute.
Good morning.
Yeah, it's okay. That's okay.
Okay. So she saw me.
You come in early.
Yeah. Now this says this meeting is being recorded. Do I hit continue?
You do what?
Hit continue.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. She heard me. Okay. It's okay. She heard me. She doesn't want it off yet. She said. I think it just hit that.
It stops the noises from the room and talking in the room from going through the system.
So Katie, I'm gonna click mute on your side.
Okay.
Good morning. Tara, thank you. 1 year. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So on the chat, if you want to share how long you've been in the business, you can do so. And you find the chat by clicking on participants or more at the bottom of the screen, and then you will see chat. Brian, 35 years. Keep going.
There you go.
Samantha, welcome. 6 months. Thank you. Welcome, welcome. We're glad you're here, learning as much as you can. Now, Brian, just to give you perspective, we had about, I think, 48 people register. About 11 o'clock, I send each person a reminder. We'll see how many will join us.
Okay.
Hi, Katie, 26 years. Welcome. Keep going. Good morning, everyone. We'll be starting in about 3 minutes while we wait for people to join us. Since we shall end up probably more than 15 people, the best way for us right now is that if you have any questions, to put them on chat. So when you find chat by clicking on more or participants at the bottom of your screen, you'll see chat and you'll be able to type in the answer to the question presented. Welcome, Kelly, 2 years. Thanks for joining us. I see you, Charlie. Good morning. How are you today?
Fine, how are you doing,
I'm
Brenda?
well.
Good, good.
That's good.
Are you at home or are you working from your office?
Oh, I am home. I don't even know the last time I was in the office.
Last time I was 4.5, well, I say May, June, July, over
Oh, yeah.
4 months ago.
Yep.
Brenda, is this the last one of these sessions?
Yes, for now. We are still mapping out the next one. So
Okay.
if you have a topic that you want to share with us, Charlie, feel free and we can map it out. Right now we're mapping out for August and beyond, first and third, what did we say? First and third Wednesday, but I don't know yet what the topics are gonna be. So if anyone out there, including you, Charlie, have a topic that you want to present virtually, like what you're going to experience today, reach out to me. I'll be putting my contact information on the chat box, which
Okay.
Charlie, you already have anyway.
Mhm. Good morning, Mr. Sachs.
Good morning. How are you?
Fine, buddy. Thanks. Yourself?
Good, good, good. No complaints.
I got a phone call.
Yeah, I took care of it. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. So I do see the time is about 11:31. I have gone ahead and presented my contact information on the chat. My name is Brenda Kasuva, and my role on all of this is pretty much guiding us as part of the education committee. I am currently the chairperson, and we as members of the education committee came together and we volunteered time and also our skills to present this different topics to you. This is the last one for now. We are trying to map out the ones which are coming up in August and beyond, and we shall be sharing them out to you on the website and also on the where else do we promote? On social media as well, and the weekly newsletter that we get by email, the schedule will be presented to you there, so be on the lookout for that. A lot of us are joining us. We had about 48 people join us, and right now we have about 16. So throughout, I will be adding on people as they join us, making sure they are on mute. That's my contact information as you're seeing on your screen. That's when you have any questions, or my challenge out there is if you have a topic that you want to share with the members, feel free to reach out to me. We are mapping out August and beyond sessions. That's my contact information, and it's also displayed to you on your chat. Briefly, Brian Sachs will be coming on to talk about his topic, but however, I would not come on and not talk about what education offering we do have as part of you being a member to GBBR. And if you're not a member, this is what GBBR is able to offer to you. We have continuing education that you know you need to take 15 hours every 2 years. and we have the opportunity for you to take the classes online. I'm guiding you through how you're able to access that by going to the GBBR website, click on calendar, and you will see online CE. So for those of us who are not comfortable yet to go to a building, GBBR is offering and has been offering CE classes since last month. The people attending are limited. So if you feel that you're not ready yet, you do have the opportunity to take the classes online. So when you go to GBBR classes online CE, you are then able to select from a list of different topics, well beyond the mandatory topics, which in review is agency, you have code of ethics, you have legal updates, and you have what am I missing? Fair housing as well. Those are the 4 mandatory topics. And then we are required to take electives. So electives is usually topics that have been approved by the Real Estate Commission on any type of topic that you can think of in real estate. For example, as you can see, this is a good CE class for you to take on foreclosures and short sales. Just a hint, I don't know if you can already see in the future, but in 2-3 years or even less than a year, we could potentially be back into seeing a lot more short sales just because of the climate that we're in. So this gives you an idea of the classes that are available. When it says 6 hours or 4 hours, doesn't mean that that's how long it's going to take you. That means that's a maximum time allocated for you to go through that session. You can start up a 3-hour class and finish it in an hour and a half. That's fine. That's the beauty of taking the class online. As you proceed, they will be asking you questions to test your understanding. So take advantage of those. Lastly, the last thing we have is what we are calling professional development. These are classes that do not have continuing education credits. You're able to access them on the same page, gbbr.org. You click on classes, online CE, and maybe we'll change the name to just say online classes. But when you go to online CE, and then you will select professional development. So these are the classes you're able to take advantage of. Again, they cost $35 and do not count as continuing education. So that's it that I wanted to share with you. Be on the lookout starting in August and beyond. We are planning hopefully the first Wednesday and the third Wednesday to be offering these educational sessions. They are being recorded and will be posted on the GBBR website. Thank you so much for being here. Now we're going to have Brian take over and do his presentation. Welcome everyone, and Brian, take it away. I think you're talking, Brian, but we can't hear you. Go ahead.
You can't hear me.
There you go. You're now on.
Okay. Everybody can hear me? Can everybody see the screen?
I can see the screen and we can hear you.
All right. Beautiful. So I'm going to ask everyone a very silly question. Who here wants to list and sell more homes? You don't even have to raise your hand because that's what we're all in business to do, right? List and sell more homes. And so, by the way, I think, I wish we were actually live in person because we really ought to thank Brenda for all that she does to bring all of this wonderful education to us. So I'm giving you a standing ovation, Brenda. I hope everybody else does as well.
Thank you.
So, we're in an environment right now that, is really very unique. We have interest rates under 3%. Just to put that in perspective for some of you that are brand new, When I started in the industry in 1985 as a real estate agent, the rates were 18.5%. We're now at 3 or under. And so what has that done? That has really created a very unique situation for our industry. You know, we're in a place right now, and I don't need to tell you this, you know this, where there are way, way, way more buyers than there are homes for sale. The pre-approval letters I'm writing right now, almost all of them have escalation clauses in them. You know, yesterday is a very interesting example. I had a lady that I pre-approved. She immediately needed a pre-approval letter. The agent and her were calling me on my cell, sending me emails, texting me. God forbid, I thought someone was really critically ill. They were in such a panic. I wrote the letter, and no more than 3 seconds later, they said, never mind, they already accepted a different offer. So we know we have multiple offers on properties. We know that we're in a situation where buyers get frustrated, you know, because they're putting in multiple offers. And I mean, we see it. There are way more buyers than there are homes for sale. So I'm going to try to share with you what I've been trying to convince my wife of for 31 years, that ugly is the new beautiful. And before I go any further, I'm going to tell you that come at this with an open mind if you're a seasoned agent, because these loans used to take long. They used to be what I would call the relationship killer loan. So if I had a great relationship with you and we did a 203K, that would be the end of the relationship usually. And the reason for that is because this type of loan has many, many moving parts. The good news is many lenders now have this down to a science. We do as well at Homebridge. But other lenders offer the product, and many of them also do a tremendous job with this product. So in this market especially, I'm going to show you why you really need to pay attention. There are 3 types of renovation loans. There is a conventional home style loan, there is an FHA 203K loan, and there are VA renovation loans. Now, I got to be careful in telling you, this program is on hold during COVID, but it's not a VA program anyway. It was a proprietary program to Homebridge. Some other lenders have it as well, but it's a phenomenal opportunity. So we're not in a room together physically, but I'd like you all just to pause for a second and say to yourself, I love ugly. All right, let's move on. So before we go any further, who am I? You always should know who you're listening to, right? If any of you are crazy enough to be up Sunday at 7:15, I'll be on channel 11. I'll actually be talking about the renovation program. But I've been around for a very long time. If my voice sounds familiar, I've had radio shows on CBM, CBS, you know, and I love sharing information. So we're going to talk about why renovation loans can help you sell more of your listings faster and for top dollar. So if many of you are listing agents, pay attention. How to sell homes faster to your buyers during the seller's market with low inventory, and how to help your investors. Yes, I said it, investors. How to have your investors buy a home without needing hard money. That's a dirty little secret many people don't know. So I'm going to tell you about some success stories. I closed a loan not long ago with Constance Lewis. She's with ExecuHome. I actually closed 2 loans for her on the same street. If any of you are familiar with Randallstown, there are these big, beautiful stone homes. I mean, I can't even imagine what it would cost to build them these days with mature trees. I mean, really just beautiful, right off of Liberty Road. And I had 2 different clients. They bought the properties as foreclosures. They bought them for $180 and $183, I think. Each of them put 30 or 40 in it. And they were able to appraise that property for $245,000 or $250,000. So they're walking into the home with equity. They're able to choose the flooring. They're able to choose the appliances. They're able to choose the cabinets, the granite. They're able to literally redo the whole house to their needs and walk in with equity, all while getting in with $500 or 3.5% down. I'm sorry. The Teacher Next Door is a program I just did, and I'm doing one right now actually. There are Teacher Next Door, Officer Next Door, Good Neighbor homes that HUD has on their foreclosure list. I hope none of you are driving, and I hope you're all sitting down, because this will blow you away if you're not familiar with this program. Someone who qualifies, that is a police officer, paramedic, nurse, teacher, they can buy a home that's a special list of homes on the HUD list. And they can buy this home for 50 cents on the dollar if they're the winning bid. Okay, so if their winning bid is 100, they get the house for 50. They can roll in all of their renovation costs. They can roll in all of your commissions, because HUD will not pay commission on these, but it can be financed in the loan. And they can roll in all of their closing costs and get into the home with $100. $100. And I believe they have to stay there for 5 years. And I mean, think about that. What a way to build generational wealth. Buying the house at half off and fixing it. I mean, it's tremendous. So I want to share with you some things from the NAR survey not long ago. 57 million Americans, or 18% of the population, live in multi-generational family households. The sales of existing homes represented 84% of the market. It's actually a little bit more now. The highest amount of compromises where people would compromise on what they're searching for: size of home, price of home, condition of home, lot size, style of home, quality of neighborhood, convenience to job, affordability. And I'm not going to go through all of these slides in the survey, but we're in real estate. What are the 3 most important things we know about real estate? Starts with an L, right? It's all about what? Location, 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 right? And Baltimore specifically, and the surrounding counties, we have a pretty aging inventory of homes. Those homes need work, and they can be personalized and customized. So what is renovation financing? It's giving you the funds all in one loan. It's not a construction loan. It's all one loan. And we're giving you the money to buy the home, or even to refinance, by the way, and remodel and renovate and update the property all in one loan. Why now? Well, as Brenda said, we're going to be looking very shortly at inventory coming on from REO and distressed homes. And we already know that we have homes that are REO'd and distressed. I mean, we've got millions of people, unfortunately, that have lost jobs. Many aren't coming back. But it really is a very opportune time. Everybody is bidding up the price of beautiful homes, and everybody's staying away from ugly. And again, ugly is the new beautiful, in my opinion. So you really kind of have to change your mindset and be open. There are lots of really great homes out there that are unfortunately in need of renovation. They're in great neighborhoods. The bones of the house are really good, and they just need some updating. Sellers, the days of sellers saying, we're not going to take this contract or that contract because we don't want to make repairs. I just had this conversation yesterday, and I said, on an FHA 203K loan, do you know that your house can underappraise by 10%? Underappraised by 10%, and we're still good. FHA on a 203K will lend 110% of value. So if you have a home where how many times do you go to a listing like this, right? The agent, the seller wants top dollar for the house. The house needs repairs and they're overpricing it. They're insisting that you put it on the market overpriced, and you know the house needs repairs. Take that listing, folks, because that's a perfect opportunity for 203K. That buyer can get a 203K loan. The seller will not have to make any repairs, and you have a 10% variance in terms of appraisal. The benefit for you: differentiate yourself from the competition. Take more listings that may have these kind of challenges. Reduce the time the listings are on the market. Provide a solution for distressed sellers who really don't have the funds to make improvements, especially if it's a short sale. And, again, after it settles, there's no work required on your end. So, again, let's talk about the 203K product. There really are 3 different types, again, of renovation loans: FHA, conventional, and VA, which we hope to have back soon. The FHA program is not available for investors, but I'm going to share one with you that is. And then again, we have this buyer officer next door, good neighbor, where you could get in with literally $100. The allowable repairs, cosmetic, structural, foundation, literally anything you could put an addition on. There's multiple. I have lots of clients actually that add handicap features because they're bringing relatives, older family members to stay with them. So there's lots of opportunity here. Let's talk about the process. We all know we want the buyer to get pre-approved, right? That's really the first thing. They find the property, they make an offer, the contract is accepted, inspections are done. We would like them to choose a contractor and secure bids as early in the process as possible. We're going to order an appraisal with a consultant report or the final contractor bid. And the reason for that is because the home is going to be appraised with an after repair value. We need to know exactly what's being done, the materials being used, and what your costs are, so that the appraiser can then give us a value on what it will be worth after all the repairs are done. It goes to underwriting, you get approved, you go to closing, you're really kind of done as far as your legal obligation here, and then the work begins. And obviously you want to check in on them just to see how it's going, right? Typical inspections, again, we're going to have an FHA feasibility inspection. My opinion, depending on who the contractor is, you might want to use the home inspection and the contractor inspection as one and the same. If the home is vacant for 30 days, you're going to need, or it's, the well and septic aren't functioning, you are going to need an inspection for that. Of course, if there's structural issues, lead, mold, and often you do want to get, if you're doing structural repairs and there are, or the utilities are not on, you're going to need to engage the services of a HUD 203K consultant. And we can give you a list of those consultants, and we generally try to bring them in right into the beginning. In terms of a contractor, any licensed contractor is going to be okay with us as long as they have a valid Maryland license. But I have to tell you, this isn't really for like Joe or Sue handy person that has a truck and does odd jobs, because most of the money is not going to be dispersed to the contractor until the work is done. And we can often do it in phases, but it's not going to be half up front and half when it's done. We want to see the work done. How does the appraisal work? Well, again,
Brian?
Yes.
Sorry, I'll interrupt. So a question has come up asking about the inspection. So the cost of the inspection, I guess the question is being phrased. The buyer would have to pay that out of their pocket. It's not included in the loan, correct?
No, that's not correct.
Oh, okay. That was the
So,
question. Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, I can clarify that. If you are using the services of a HUD 203K consultant, you will have to pay for it, but it can be included in the allowable closing costs. So I hope that answers the question, but let's get through some of this because I'm happy to answer some questions at the end. But the reality is I think I'll answer most of the questions here. It's a little bit of a confusing program, I agree. But if you could save your questions till the end, I'm more than happy to hang on a little bit after the presentation and answer any questions you have. Again, on an FHA, we're going to allow for 110% of the after improved value. So that's FHA. Let's talk about Fannie Mae for a minute, okay? Fannie Mae does a program called Home Style. Very similar. You can roll in all of your renovations into one loan. We can do up to a 95% loan to value. The appraisal will be done after the improved value. It's eligible for a purchase or a refinance. But one of the big ideas here is that you can do this for an investor. Now, the way it works is Fannie Mae requires for an investor that they put 15% down. But how many investors do you know that are going to hard money and then refinancing? They may not have to. So we can lend 85% of the after appraised value on an investor loan. So how much you're buying the house for and how much the renovation costs. And we take that number and you have to put 15% down. So this is a neat little trick to actually have in your back pocket if you're working with investors. Going a little deeper into the FHA program for a second, I'm going to just suggest to you that you do not make this a 3-week or a 30-day settlement as much as I know everyone wants to. These loans take a little bit longer. And so I'm generally in this market suggesting you make the closing a 45 to 60-day closing. And we are getting them closed in 45 to 60 days. And some of them we're getting done in 30 to 45 days. The delay usually comes in how soon the buyer actually nails things down with the contractor. That's really usually the holdup. So there are actually 2 kinds of 203Ks, and this is just a slide that's sharing with you what that 110% actually looks like, okay? So that home, you bought it, you're buying it for 100, the renovation costs are 50. On the FHA 203K, it only has to appraise for 136.5. So if you are concerned, right, that a house might not appraise and needs work, I don't think there's any better solution. We generally like to see that renovations are being done within a 90-day period if we're doing a streamline. Again, one single mortgage, it's not a construction to perm, there's no additional cash investment, and really is a beautiful situation. For the seller, it opens the market up for more buyers, faster sales, and higher net proceeds. For you, sell more listings. You know, anytime you can have an area of expertise that others don't have, you're going to have an advantage. Listing agents, you know, again, perfect scenario for you. So I'm going to skip a couple of these slides to save time, but there are 2 types of FHA renovation loans. One is limited and the other is standard. Again, this is not eligible for investors. The standard, the streamline allows for you to do up to $35,000 in total rehab costs. You do not need a HUD consultant. And we usually have about 2 draws with the contractor. This is only for cosmetic work, and the utilities have to be on, okay? So here are a list of various repairs and updates, you know, that could be used here. Again, it's not going to be eligible for any major renovations that are structural in nature. The standard 203K, minimum costs of $5,000. There is no maximum. You do have to have a HUD-approved consultant involved. And oftentimes, you ready for this? If the home is not able to be inhabited, you could finance up to 6 months of your mortgage payment in there as well. We generally like to have up to 5 draws, and you know, here you're doing room additions, moving loading walls, load-bearing walls, you're putting in appliances. We even have people that have actually raised properties, taken it down, tear downs and rebuilds. Again, there's also this VA renovation program. Our company has it on pause during COVID, but think about this. A veteran can buy a home or a reservist with no money down, right? And finance their renovation costs. On this particular loan, the renovation costs must be non-structural in nature, just like the FHA streamline, and under $35,000. Again, we're looking at trying to have 2 to 3 draw fees, and really a phenomenal program. So, and they will lend 100% of the after improved appraised value. So once again, that's always an area of confusion. You buy the home, and let's say you're buying it for 100, you're putting in 50. The appraiser is going to go out and tell us what the home is worth after those improvements, okay? Again, non-structural repairs, keep that in mind. So we've gone through the process a little bit. They select a property, a lender and a contractor. We as the lender are going to review the contractor's plans. We're going to approve that contractor. The appraisal is ordered. We're going to calculate the maximum loan amount, get the buyer approved, and the loan closes. The work begins. We already have a draw schedule that's already been worked out and approved with the contractor. As work is being done, inspections are being done, and we will release funds to the borrower. By the way, the borrower and us have to agree that the work has been done sufficiently. With these loans, there's always something called a reserve. It could be anywhere from 5 to 10%, because anytime you're doing any sort of renovation work, you just never know what happens, right? You pull out a wall and you weren't expecting all the boards to be rotten. Or you're looking at an electric box and you didn't realize you got a problem with the wiring. So there's always a 5 to 10% reserve account. After all the dust settles and after all the work's been done and everybody's been paid, if there's any money left in that reserve account, excuse me, it gets applied directly to the principal. Brenda, are there questions?
Not right now, but
Okay.
I guess we can check in.
Okay,
Not right now.
I got a couple more slides, but just in case. So rates. Rates on these are a little bit higher, but remember, the rates are ridiculous right now. I mean, you've never seen rates this low ever. Generally, these are taking 45 to 60 days. In terms of your contract, in your contract, you are not going with the after appraised value. If the home is for sale for 100, that's what your contract is for. For FHA, it has to be a primary residence. For a conventional loan, it could be a primary, could be a second home, and if it's an investment, 15% down. Remember, you're going to play a key role in understanding the comps in the area and what that house will be worth after the repairs. We're never going to let anyone over improve a property. The buyer chooses the contractor. We don't give you any recommendations. All we care about is that they have a Maryland license and proper insurance. Oftentimes you may have a buyer that wants to do the work themselves. Generally, that's frowned upon, unless the person is a licensed contractor and has their own contracting company. Again, we talked about what happens to the unused reserve funds. At the very end, it's applied towards your principal. The payments start when like any normal loan. So if you were settling today in July, your first payment will be due September 1st, except for if you are in a situation where we are able to roll in up to 6 months because the home cannot be inhabited. That can be part of it. That can go right into your mortgage payment. Again, the minimum repairs are $5,000. If utilities are not turned on, they may actually even hold a 15% contingency because they don't really know what's wrong. I'm often asked the question, are there 2 appraisals on renovation loans? No, it's 1 appraisal, and they are giving us the after repair value. So, if any of you have an interest in this, I think it's a niche that you really ought to pay attention to. We have all sorts of tools that we can help you with, things to post on social media. We have flyers that we can customize with your information on it as well. So I hope that all of you really do pay attention to this, because these 3 renovation programs really can help you sell more homes in this market. And again, I'm going to encourage you not to stay away from ugly. Our company actually is the #1 renovation lender in the country, but there are many, many other really good lenders out there that I know personally in the area that also do a phenomenal job with this product. So regardless of who you use, know these programs as a listing agent, know these programs as a selling agent, and it will help you make more money as a realtor. So here's all my contact information. I'm more than happy to help. And again, I'm more than happy to answer any questions, Brenda. I thank you all for being here. Brenda, you still with us?
Yes.
Okay. Do we have any questions?
So if you
Is
have
everybody
any
still awake?
questions, put them on chat, which is found by you clicking on participants or clicking on chat or clicking on more chat and then type in your question. So yes, we do have one from someone asking, how could we get the social media content? Is it just by connecting with you?
Here's my contact information. I'd suggest you contact me on Monday, or shoot me an email. Call me on Monday, and I'll be more than happy to provide you with all sorts of really great tools. And if you want a copy of the presentation slides, I'm happy to send them as well. Just send me an email, and I'll be happy to send them out to you.
Okay, the other question that comes up again that has been requested is if they could see the HUD inspector chart again.
The HUD inspector chart. I'm not sure.
I know, I read it, so I'm not sure.
Tell me when to stop.
I don't know. Charlene, give us an idea more. I'm sorry. Chanel, give us more idea as to where he needs to stop.
Am I
And
getting
you can
close?
speak if you'd like. I'm not sure. I'm asking her for more guidance,
Well,
but
I'll make it even easier. Send me your information.
I'll email you.
All the slides.
I'll email you. Thank you.
Oh, how you doing, Chanel?
Hi.
Good. I'm happy to send you all the slides. Not a problem. Shoot me your information and I'll give you all the slides.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks for being here.
so guys, if you want a copy of it, write down his email. We're not able to track what you're putting in on chat as your email. His email address and send him an email for him to respond back to you. I'm looking to see if there are more questions. Let's see. Okay. So if there are any more questions, guys, let us know.
Okay.
Go ahead. Johnny, do you have a question?
Yeah, on each, I think he said the loan is funded a couple of times during the process. That funding, does the appraiser has to come, do the appraiser come back out and check the work that has been done at each step?
Yes. And we have to be satisfied as the lender and you as the buyer that's having the work done. Our client has to sign off as well.
So I would imagine that appraisal fee is a little different than a regular loan. Is that correct?
Well, yes. So these loans generally have anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 in closing costs. That would be higher than a standard loan.
Okay. Also, you mentioned that sometimes a buyer can do, well, you said buyers would ask if they can do it themselves. I know there has been a time where a buyer could do the repairs, but he would have to work under the license number of someone that he or she knows. Is that correct? That's still the case?
We don't know about that. Let's say that. So we're holding the contractor responsible, and you know we have to have a licensed contractor. If sometimes the homeowner is a licensed contractor, sometimes we will make an exception.
Gotcha. Okay. That's it, Brenda.
Thank you, Johnny.
Sure.
Okay, anyone else?
I think that refinance is a pretty good one, though. That's a different kind of, it's still FHA 203K, but the loan amount is slightly different. It's a maximum to that. Is that correct?
Yeah, with the refinancing on an FHA, it gets a little dicey sometimes. There's a formula that, you know, I don't even want to go into here, but we do take the as is and the after value on a refi for a conventional or an FHA. But I'll tell you what's really amazing. Almost all of my clients that do an FHA 203K, I'd say 99% of them, always come back to me 6 months later, refinance to a conventional loan, and have enough equity generally to get rid of mortgage insurance, because the value of that home is so much more than what they paid for their renovation and their sales price.
Does that loan also work with the police and teacher next door program as well?
Yes, absolutely. That's the program where they have to choose from only specific properties that HUD has for sale. It's not any HUD foreclosure. They're specific. But remember, Johnny, they can get in with $100, okay? I've become very popular with the MTA police for some reason recently. Not because of any crime I committed, but one keeps telling the other, and my phone's ringing off the hook, because they can buy a home half off, okay? They can, assuming they're the winning bid, they can roll in all their closing costs, all their renovation costs, all their commissions, get in with $100 and have that house 50% of what their bid accepted bid was.
Mhm.
That's huge.
Yeah,
But then again, in my personal opinion, I think they deserve it.
sounds good.
All
I have
right,
a question.
sure.
With the, did that include military as well?
No, military would be a VA loan.
So they could just, military can just do the VA loan. They
Well,
can't,
yeah, but
they're not included in the next door
correct.
at all.
That's correct. Unless they're, one of the eligible categories, a teacher, paramedic, fireman, policeman, woman.
Oh, okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, well, if there are no other questions, I thank you all for being here. I thank no one for snoring, so I think we kept everybody at least awake, which is good. And here's my information. If any of you want the slides or have questions or want any flyers, we can certainly do it. Again, I'm going to say there are many companies that offer this program, not just us. So I don't want this to feel like an advertisement for us. It's not. There are lots of other good lenders out there that do 203K renovation loans. And it is absolutely something you should have in your arsenal as a listing agent or a selling agent. So with that, Brenda, I thank you all. And I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend.
Thank you so much, Brian. Have a great day, everyone.
Take care.